आती है सुबहें ऐसे ही शाम ढले
This is one of the most popular songs of the 1960s. It's a song that people still remember to date. It's a song from a film called Humraaz, which was a very big hit. It was produced and directed by B.R. Chopra. It featured two of the top male stars of the era, Rajkumar and Sunil Dutt. But more importantly, Humraaz was best remembered and best known for two things. One, Ravi's music, and the haunting looks of the leading lady Vimy. She was signed on by Chopra Films for 3 films. Humraaz was the first of the releases. It was a very big hit, and everything went to dust after that. What happened to Vimy? Now, Vimy was discovered in a very roundabout manner, not like usual stars and actresses and actors were discovered. She didn't go through studio to studio, meeting production houses or producers. She was married to a gentleman called Shiv Agarwal, and they were living in Calcutta. Very rich, very well off, very affluent family. They used to host these lavish parties, which were the talk of the town. And it was at one such party that she caught the eye of music director Ravi. And Ravi told her that, why don't you think of films, because you have the looks for it. Now, Vimy's family and Shiv's family were against the idea of Vimy acting in films. And in fact, they even gave her an ultimatum that, should you decide to do that, we will not have anything to do with you. Shiv supported her to shift from Calcutta to Bombay. They uprooted their life and started a new life in Bombay. B.R. Chopra called her for a screen test. Now, Chopra Saab took a series of tests over 6-7 days and did every kind of test that he could think of. And finally, he decided that this was the face that he was looking for, and he decided to launch Vimy. He had signed Vimy on for 3 films. Humraaz was the first film. It released, it conquered the box office, and it was the talk of the town. But Vimy could never act in a Chopra film again. In fact, the films that Vimy did after that were not even a patch on Humraaz, and she died a tragic death in a little under a decade from this film. What happened to Vimy? What is the story of Vimy? And how she remains important and how she remains a memory that is still fresh in people's mind. This is Cinemazi Studios, and I'm Gautam Chintamani, and today we are going to relive the life of Vimy. A successful debut was no guarantee for Vimy to have a good career or long career in Hindi films. Neither was the presence of a top producer like B.R. Chopra, who had not only put his money on Vimy but also signed her on for 3 films. The film was a hit, Chopra was a very big name, and Vimy was the face that Hindi cinema was waiting during the mid-60s. But what went wrong? Well, the simplest and the easiest way of explaining what went wrong with Vimy's career was that she couldn't act. She was one of the most graceful faces to ever grace Indian cinema, and at the same time, she was one of the most wooden actresses ever to grace Hindi films. And this was not something which was hidden from people. Chopra Saab knew this, people in the industry started talking about this, and despite Humraaz being a very big hit, offers were not pouring in. Even before the release of Humraaz or after the success of Humraaz was Vimy's attitude towards the Chopras. Chopra Saab had signed her on for 3 films, and he had explicitly asked her not to sign any new films till the time he released her from the contract, or at least the first film released. Shiv Agarwal and Vimy both wanted to capitalize on the fact that she was going to be launched by B.R. Chopra, and she refused to turn up for the last schedule of the film unless Chopra released her from the contract. Chopra did that, and somewhere perhaps B.R. Chopra also understood that he was doing the smarter thing here. Now, when the film released and it became a success, the news also spread that she had an attitude problem. She felt that she was far too big a star despite just one release. She wanted costumes exclusively designed for her by the top designers. She wanted numerous changes in her costume in a single film. And these things don't really help you at the beginning of your career. But everything would have been fine had Vimy been able to deliver on the promise of the screen diva that she was being pitched as. During the shooting of Humraaz, it is also said that Chopra Saab changed the way he was going to film Humraaz. He redesigned his shots, the choreography and the blocking was changed so that Vimmi's shortcomings, her lack of expression beyond what was needed or beyond the basic that she could muster up. She had done a few plays in her school and college days like everybody. She had even done voice modulation classes. She was also a voice artist for a little while. But these things were not helping when it came to the big screen. Chopra Saab redesigned his shots and he managed to make Vimmi's shortcomings look really good on screen, add to the aura of the character that she was playing, enhance the mystery of this mysterious woman.
तुम्हारा बच्चा जिंदा है।
मेरा बच्चा?
तुम्हारे यहाँ मरा हुआ बच्चा पैदा नहीं हुआ था।
And generally deliver a star who had no reason not to blaze the path in the years to come. Offers were not pouring in after the success of Humraaz. Initial films that released also did not help Vimmi's career. The first film which released after Humraaz was Abru.
क्यों नीना देवी जी?
Will you get out from here?
धीरज रखिए, मैं कल फिर आऊंगा। नमस्ते।
तुम्हारी ऐसी तैसी समझ लूंगी मैं तुम्हें।
Film did not do that well. She had a silver jubilee hit in a Punjabi film called Nanak Naam Jahaz, but that did very little for her as far as fortunes in Hindi films went.
मैं कदे सोचा भी नहीं सी कि साडी पहली मुलाकात इस तरह गड्डी च होएगी। बड़ा अजीब इत्तेफाक है कि मैं पहली गड्डी जाना सी और मेरे कोलों मिस हो गई।
ते आ गड्डी मैं मिस कर देनी सी। गड्डी टुर पई ते काली च जनाने डब्बे ते बजाए ए डब्बे च आ गई।
साडे नाल मुलाकात जे होनी सी।
Now the top actors of that time were not within the reach of producers who were making a beeline for Vimmi. The first few films that she got were with Shashi Kapoor, who was post the success of Jab Jab Phool Khile, was just getting back on track. But he was nowhere the big star that he was at least in the beginnings of the 70s or through the 1970s, because he was not that successful a brand name also. Vimmi also expressed the same apprehensions. She openly told the producers that she was not willing to work with Shashi Kapoor. She wanted somebody like a Sunil Dutt or a Raj Kumar to be featured opposite her, but that was not going to happen. In any case, the two films that she did with Shashi Kapoor, Patanga and Vachan, also did not make any dent at the box office in the manner of speaking, and barely did anything for Vimmi's career. At this point, Vimmi was also going through a very bad phase in her marriage. She and Shiv had to shift from their posh apartment to the suburbs, and they had to do that a couple of times. There were times when they did not have enough money to even pay the electricity bills. The parties that they used to hold for the industry bigwigs started getting smaller with the passage of time. The rich alcohol or the great food that was being served also changed. Vimmi took to drinking and she could not control it beyond a point. Fights between Shiv and Vimmi also increased the intensity of them. Somewhere people who were observing all this drama felt that Shiv, the background, the great big businessman that he was, and he had given up everything to live this dream of, being a big superstar's husband. He could not take the breaking of the dream. And he started pushing Vimmi to do roles or accept films where the money would keep coming in, but it did not matter what was the stature of the director making those films or any other detail. Things got so bad that fights between them increased. Vimmi's drinking problem also went out of whack. And at this time, she even shifted out. It was around this time where she realized that somewhere she did not have it all. She was not that big a star to throw the kind of tantrums that she was throwing. Or who knows, she felt disappointed that the big dream that she had of being a screen diva, and she had every reason to have that dream because she was launched by B.R. Chopra. She wanted to make good of that, and she decided to make a comeback. And this is the time when she met B.R. Chopra, and she tried to explain to Chopra Saab that her attitude was not right, and she wanted to make amends and she wanted him to cast her again. And Chopra Saab, being the gentleman that he was, told her to get back on her feet, and there was something that they could have worked out. But unfortunately, that never happened. By August 1977, Vimy was in such a bad state. She was drinking too much, she had a liver problem, and she was no longer the screen goddess that Hamraz had projected her as. She died in August 1977 on the streets, unknown to anybody, unrecognizable by passers-by. No one in her family wanted to be with her. Her own family and Shiv's family had disowned her the moment she decided to become an actress. She died on the streets of a Bombay suburb where nobody recognized her. Ultimately, the time when she died, she was also living with a producer who went by the name of Jolly. Ironical as that is, Jolly was the last person to stand by her, but Jolly could not change anything in Vimy's life, and even Jolly's presence could not do what his name suggested. When Vimy died on the streets of Santa Cruz in Bombay, nobody came forward to claim the body. Passers-by who had some emotion in their heart hauled up that body, put it on a cart, and just took it to the municipal corporation and deposited the body there. A screen goddess who just a little over a decade ago hailed from one of the most affluent families in Calcutta, through lavish parties in Bombay, had the fanciest of cars, had the greatest of clothes to wear, and had a happy family life, gave it all up in order to chase a dream that she was very well within her rights to chase. This is a tragic story. Many of us don't even remember Vimy today. We remember the songs of Hamraz. We remember our elders talking about Vimy with such awe in their eyes that it's surprising that that kind of connection with the audience, and yet she's lost to the annals of history as far as Indian cinema goes. I hope this episode of Cinemazi Studios makes you want to go back in time and rediscover Vimy and also a few of the films that she managed to do, especially Hamraz. It's a great film. It's not a film that will come, that would rate very high on top 10 lists or top 3 lists, but it's got great music, it's got great performances, and it manages to capture the era very well. At Cinemazi Studios, we like to rediscover things about Indian cinema that are lost to time, and this has been just one of those efforts. I hope you enjoyed watching our video. Do subscribe to our videos. Do let us know what kind of stuff you like and what are the kind of stories that we can talk about. Thank you.